Hey guys, it's ViLo Energy Healing. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general reading for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the month of December. Now, these messages may not resonate with every Virgo out there, so please just take what resonates with you and leave out the rest. Also, stay tuned for your bonus info that's going to be coming up after this. All right, Virgo, let's see what we got going on for you this month. You know, you're tired in a way you don't even want to admit. Okay, you're not just drained, you're worn out. You've been stretching yourself thin just trying to keep everything together. Right? You've been doing everything for everyone and barely taking care of yourself. Not only that, you're not even getting anything in return. Right? You're acting like you're fine when you're clearly exhausted. Okay, and it's all catching up to you. You know, you've been taking care of people who don't even take care of themselves, and you're acting like it's your responsibility. This is the month you stop doing all of that. Okay, you get back to a healthy place mentally and emotionally. Right? You're going to get a wake-up call to finally put yourself first instead of last. Okay, it's your turn now, and you don't need to explain it to anyone. You know, you've been tired, you're moving slower than you want to, and you're still doing what you can even on your days off. Okay, you might feel like nothing's happening because you haven't seen any big changes yet, but you are making progress, all right? Things are coming together in the background. You know, you might not realize this, but you're a lot more consistent than you think you are. Okay, this is the part where most people give up, and you're not doing that. Okay, you put in too much work to just stop right before things finally pay off. You know, money stress and lack of support is really starting to get to you. Okay, you don't have to pretend that you're okay just to get through the day. You're tired of acting like everything's fine when it feels so overwhelming. You know, you've been handling everything on your own and it's starting to feel like too much. Okay, it doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that you need help. You need backup and you need to ask for it. Okay, holding everything in doesn't make you strong. It just burns you out faster. Okay, so just stop acting like you need to tough it out all by yourself. Okay, you're not supposed to do everything alone. You're allowed to ask for help and you deserve the support. You know, you're looking at everything differently now. Okay, like the delay was actually helping you instead of holding you back. Okay, that break you didn't want was exactly what you needed to get your head straight and to get yourself together. You know, everything slowed down to help you think and focus on what's important. I know you hate waiting and you can't sit still, okay? But that's when the answers come to you. Instead of thinking things through, you were just making all these moves because you were stressed. Okay, you were reacting too fast and making decisions out of fear. When you try rushing something, it never works. You have to stop pushing so hard, right? Just take it one step at a time and just let things happen naturally at their own pace. Okay, not everything needs to be forced. You know, you were giving so much of your time and energy to people who couldn't even meet you halfway. You stretched yourself so thin trying to be there for everyone else, and now it's finally catching up with you. You know, there needs to be a limit. Helping people is fine, but you need to know where to draw the line. Okay, caring about someone shouldn't be exhausting and it shouldn't feel like work. You know, you've been the one that everyone goes to for advice and support and, you know, someone to lean on. But nobody comes to check on you. Why do you always have to be the strong one? Okay, stop helping people who won't even try to help themselves. Okay, they're not your responsibility. Okay, so stop being the go-to person for people that never change. Okay, that's not your job. You know, you're finally thinking straight again. You see exactly who's been real with you and who's been holding you back. Okay, you're not confused. You just didn't want to admit the truth because it was uncomfortable and you didn't want to deal with it, right? But now you're seeing exactly what needs to stop. No more excuses, right? You're not entertaining anyone's BS anymore. You're saying what you mean and you're calling things out, right? You're not playing with anyone. If it's fake or if someone needs to end, something needs to end, you're cutting it off and you're keeping it moving, right? You're done with it. You know, Virgo, something in your life is changing, whether you're ready for it or not. Something's ending because it's not doing anything for you anymore, and you need to make space for something better. Okay, listen, it might feel uncomfortable now, but it's necessary. You know, this has been over for a while now. You just never wanted to admit it. Before you know it, you're going to understand why this had to happen. Okay, it's not to hurt or to punish you. What's ending or leaving wasn't meant to stay anyway. Okay, you know, you're learning when to back off. You're finally seeing that trying to control everything doesn't make you feel any safer, okay? All it does is stress you out. Forcing things never fixes anything anyway. Okay? Sometimes walking away is the only way to stay sane. You're done arguing just to prove a point. Okay? You don't need to prove anything to anyone, okay? Especially to the people that bring drama. You know, someone around you is going through it, all right? They're struggling and they feel lost. They're going to dump all their feelings onto you because they want your support. Okay? That's fine. But just be careful, because whatever is stressing them out isn't your responsibility. Okay? You can care and you can listen, but you don't need to fix anything for them. Right? This person brings drama every time they show up. And you already know how this goes. All right? You've been there before. Okay, so don't fall for it and get sucked back in. Okay, you can be polite and still keep your distance. Okay, if you could wish them the best, but from far, far away. You know, you're hoping things get easier, but part of you feels like it's never going to happen. Okay, the nonstop stress, the nonstop problems. It's like you're waiting to get hit with the next thing to go wrong. You're so tired. All you want is for something to finally go right. Okay? You're hanging on by a thread and you're still pushing through it. That's why things will get better, all right? The good news is the hardest part is already over, right? You didn't get this far just to fall apart, okay? Believe it or not, you're a lot stronger than you think. You know, you're ending the year feeling lighter and clearer and way more sure of yourself than you have in a long time. Okay? The stress and pressure that you've been dealing with finally starts to go away. You're not taking on other people's problems, obligations, or responsibilities anymore. You're done proving yourself and fixing everything for everyone. And now you're starting to feel like you again. And honestly, it feels good for once. Right? You're stepping into this new year calmer and more focused, and you're not letting anyone or anything get to you anymore. All right. Hey Virgo, it's ViLo Energy Healing. Welcome back to part 2 of your reading. This is going to be your bonus info for the month of December. Okay, so let's start off with some timing windows. Now, as always, I'm going to start from the beginning of the month and work my way towards the end of the month. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so December 4th to the 10th, okay, this is when you hit that breaking point where you're burnt out, you're frustrated or exhausted, and you realize you can't keep holding everything together by yourself. Okay. So December 13th to the 19th, okay, this is when you finally let something go and you mentally say, you know what, I'm done. December 22nd to the 31st, okay, this is when you feel calm, more grounded, and without all that extra baggage. Okay. All right, now, some zodiac signs that came through your reading. Now, this could be somebody you're dealing with. It doesn't have to be. Guys, don't get too fixated on the signs. You could be dealing with any sign. But the ones that came through today are Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, Aries, Gemini, and Taurus. Okay. I'm also going to jump into some symbols that you might be seeing but possibly ignoring. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so some of you are seeing 555. Okay, that just means that big changes are ahead. Okay, don't fight it. It's pushing you towards something better. 808. Okay, that talks about financial or emotional reset. Okay, balance is coming back. I'm also picking up on 919. Okay, that's a chapter in your life is closing. Okay, but the next one's already lined up. That's what that means. I'm also seeing like a lot of gray or black. Okay, this means that you've been emotionally drained and you're finally letting that heavy energy go. Okay, I'm also picking up on dreams of like packing or moving. Okay, that just means that you're mentally preparing to leave behind what no longer works for you. Also picking up dreams about saying like what you really want to say. Okay, this just means that you're ready to speak your truth and stop holding things in. I'm also picking up that some of you are like cleaning things out or wanting to get rid of things. Okay, this just means that you're done carrying old emotional weight and you're ready to make room for something new. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to jump into some initials. Okay, now this could be your name, their name, first name, last name, place it how you see fit. Let's see here. We have A, B, C, D, E, J, K, M, R, and T. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. If you're enjoying the bonus info you want me to continue this way, just hit the like button or leave me a quick comment to let me know. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and until next time, sending you love and light.